Welcome to the Children's Literature Association Accessibility Committee's instructional video on how to use Google Drive to safely host your Access copy. Before I start, I want to note that I've included timestamps in the video description below so you can skip around to the instructions that you need. Just a reminder about Access copies. All participants at ChLA conferences are required to submit a copy of their talk at the beginning of their session so the audience can read and follow along. We have received consistent feedback that Access copies are a massive help in removing barriers so that all attendees can learn from your brilliant work. We know that there are many ways to give a talk, so we ask that if you read from a paper, that you share the paper itself. Whereas if you use outlines or a PowerPoint, you provide access to either of those instead. As for sharing the Access copies, we have two options. First, you can print off copies to share with your audience, or alternatively, you can host your presentation on your preferred cloud hosting site and share a tiny link or a QR code with your audience at the beginning of your presentation. And don't worry, I will show instructions for both at the end. The reason we chose to focus on Google Drive is that it has easy settings to keep anyone from downloading, copying, or printing your paper, so this should provide an added layer of protection for your material. If you have a Gmail address or if your school uses Google Suite, you'll already have access to Google Drive. It's also quite easy to sign up for an account of your own if you would prefer. Alright, so let's get started. You can either log in directly at www.google.com/drive, or if you're already logged into your Gmail account, you can jump to your Drive account really easily. All you need to do is click on the Google Apps button in the upper right-hand corner and choose the Drive option. Once you're in your Drive, you're either going to want to add or create your document. So first and foremost, you want to click the New button in the upper left-hand corner. If you want to create a new document for a paper or an outline, then choose the Google Docs option. However, if you would prefer to do a presentation, you'll want to choose the Google Slides option. Finally, if you already have your presentation, either a PowerPoint, outline, or document ready, you're going to want to choose the File Upload option. Now, once you have your draft finalized, you're going to want to set up your share settings. In this case, go into your document, and what you want to do is to choose the Share settings. It's the bright blue button in the upper right-hand corner. Once this panel shows up, you're going to want to do two things. First, you're going to want to click this gear at the top right of the top panel. This is the Share with People and Groups panel. Then you're going to want to deselect the option that says viewers and commenters can see the option to download, print, and copy. This will provide that extra level of protection we discussed earlier. Once you're done with that, click on the arrow to go back to the two panels, then turn to the Get Link option in the bottom panel and click on the Change to Anyone with the Link. This will automatically create a link, albeit one that is very long, that you can copy and share with your audience by clicking the Copy button on the right. To turn off link access once your presentation is over, re-click the Share button, click the Change button underneath, and then swap the access from anyone with the link to restricted. You can also easily access these settings on the home page. All you need to do is right-click on your chosen file, choose the Share Plus button from the menu, and the same panel will pop up. You can go through the same steps. Once you've opened up Access, we then want you to shorten your link or create a QR code to make your document easier to access. Now, there are some great options out there, but I'm going to show you how to use Tinyurl. So first, make sure you've copied your link. Then you can go to tinyurl.com/app. You just need to paste your link into the upper slot. You don't need to do anything there, and you don't need to sign up for an account. All you need to do is click Make Tiny URL. you'll see your tinyurl will pop up here, that you can copy it into your paper to read out loud at the beginning of your talk, or then you can put it in a PowerPoint. The share button will allow you to share this link, or if you want, a QR code with a variety of audience members on the various social media sites. You can also just copy it to your clipboard, or you can email it to yourself for a more permanent option. Now, with that in mind, if you do use the same browser and computer and you don't erase your cookies, you'll also be able to find past URLs created by using the My URLs button. Finally, you can use the QR code to create a QR code link or image that you can post in your PowerPoint that your audience can scan with their phones and get access to your paper. Keep in mind that you aren't required to use any of these particular websites. Just use whatever you feel most comfortable with as long as it's accessible through a tiny link or a QR code. If you have any additional questions or concerns, please reach out to the Accessibility Committee by emailing the following: accessibility@childlitassn.org. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to an amazing and accessible conference.